Now we are over on to public question period. A person is limited to 2 questions and must pertain specific item on the current agenda, and the speaker will state which item the question is related to. The total speaking time shall be 5 minutes maximum per speaker unless extended by mayor or chair, and any response not provided at the meeting will be provided in the format of a written response. Mr. Anderson, do you have an item on the agenda that you would like a question asked about?
Hi, greetings. Maybe to clarify, my understanding is that the committee members have the option to determine whether or not I present my comments in the form of a presentation or in the form of the context of the question period. Has the committee made a decision in that regard?
Yeah, I'll turn it over to the clerk.
This isn't a city clerk issue, though I understand the bylaw does not apply to presentations. No restrictions on presentations from the city clerk's perspective, unless I'm mistaken.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the bylaw does permit the city clerk to determine the appropriateness of a presentation or a deputation.
I provided a copy to all the members of the committee. If you look at page 26, it only...
Mr. Anderson,
I'm sorry.
This is question period. Do you have a question with an item relating to the agenda?
Yes.
An item on the agenda.
Yes.
Item on the agenda.
Yes, just to complete my sentence. Page 26 in the bylaws specify restrictions on deputations. You can look at it. You've all got a copy of it. It does not refer to presentations. So I would ask you to check that, please. And I'll do the...
Mr. Anderson, I'm sorry.
I'll do my comments in the
this is exclusively for question period. Your questioning is not with regards to an item on the agenda.
Oh, it is.
So
no,
I'm sorry, sir. This is for question period.
Yep, I'll do that.
We're not trying to exclude anybody, but we're also trying to follow the rules of the meeting.
I'll do that.
And right now, if you'd like to ask a question with one of the items on the agenda, you're allowed to do so. But if not, this is your time right now to ask that question.
No, I understand. Agenda 10.1 talks about the work that this committee will be doing in 2024. One of the items that I think is fundamentally important for this committee to address, and which Council and the General Committee have identified, is the responsibility of this committee. Our recommendations with regard to improving the speed survey project or speed survey process for all the residents in Mississauga.
Sorry, Mr. Anderson, what is your question, sir? This is question period. I'm asking you, it'll be my final time asking you, what is your question, sir?
Sure. My question is whether the committee members understand and support, for example, 2 of the recommendations in particular. I wonder if I could put the...
So your question is, do people on the committee understand what the items on the work plan are?
No, and whether...
That would be your question?
No.
No, that is... We're asking questions,
yes,
sir. This is not
sure,
this is
but
not a debate.
Don't rephrase my question. My question is whether or not they understand and support recommendations 5 and 9, and I was wondering if they could display what those are in terms of the work they would be doing in 2024 in the context of their responsibilities. Is it okay to...
Pardon me here,
to the clerk.
Mr. Chair. The matters that the resident is speaking about are not on the agenda, nor are they on the work plan, so they are not permitted to be asked. The questions can be related to the 2024 work plan of the Road Safety Committee.
Okay, thank you. So we will be talking about the work plan that is going to be held, so you're more than welcome to listen in on the work plan that we will be discussing. I asked you for your question 3 times, sir. Now we're going to proceed on with our meeting.
And I explained the context. So my question is whether or not that can be included on the work plan, in effect. In other words, do they support that as something the committee would address in 2024 in the context of the work plan for this committee?
Okay, so you're wondering if something else could be added on to the work plan, I believe is your question.
Exactly. And,
okay.
And those, that's the context. But
all right, sir. right now, I think you've asked your question. We are going to go through the work plan, and if people around the table here want to have something added onto the work plan, then that is up to the committee. Thank you very much for coming today, sir.
I have
Thank
a
you.
second question.
No, I think I've given you more than ample time. If you have one more question with regards to something on the agenda, Mr. Anderson, please go ahead. But if not, I'm sorry, sir, this is not open for public debate.
Well, in effect, my second question is related to the same 10.1, and that is simply asking whether or not perhaps yourself, Chair, would acknowledge that it's this committee that has a responsibility to address in their work during 2024.
Sir, what is your question? I'm going to ask you right now for your question. If not, I think we're
expressed it as a question. Do you agree? That's a question. Would you agree that it's the responsibility of this committee, since the General Committee and Council will not address it, because they view it as the responsibility of this committee?
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. I think right now the way we have it is the work plan is in place. It has been presented. It is up for the committee now to go through the work plan and debate it. But thank you very much for coming, and and I'm sure everybody here will give that consideration. And we've heard what you've asked and actually suggested as well. So thank you very much for your question as well.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Okay, and now we will go on to our consent agenda. And so we do have matters to be considered. 10.1, as mentioned, will be held, and that's 2024 Road Safety Committee Work Plan. And so we will go through each one of the items that's mentioned there in terms of the work plan. Is there anything else for the work? Is there anything else for the work plan that anybody would like to bring forward? Any other item that would like to be added on to the work plan? And I'll just ask one more time. Anybody want to add anything onto the agenda for the work plan for this coming session? No, I don't see anybody. So would somebody like to move item 10.1, the work plan? And we are adjourned. Thank you very much.